Hey guys, it's Tony with Backwoods Biker Magazine and Wood Tramp Outdoors. Beautiful morning, about 55 degrees, loving it. You know, I've been getting emails over the past few months asking me for an update on the MSK1 Elite Warrior. That's what this video is all about. Hang tight. Alright guys, welcome back. Appreciate the emails asking about the Elite Warrior from Ultimate Survival Tips. And I got to tell you, we received it 8 months ago. And we were even, how this got on our radar was that a few guys from out at the 29 Palms with the Force Recon unit wrote us, called us and said, hey, what is it about this new knife? Can you tell us anything? And I reached out to Ultimate Survival Tips, to David, the owner, the designer, chief cook and bottle washer out there. And was brought up to speed, and the next thing I know, I've got his complete new lineup sitting in front of us on my desk. And when I opened up the box for the Elite Warrior, it was like, whoa, this is a big improvement, a big change rather. And this is the guy right here. This is the Elite Warrior. Now, I'm going to try to keep this video as short as possible, so I'm going to go a little bit fast. Hang on tight. First of all, this new version is made out of 154 cm stainless, which means it's not going to rust. It's going to be easier to sharpen than the D2 was with the original knife. Also, look at the serration here on the top, and it will cut through bone. I've cut plenty of bone with this. And then you also have this secondary top cutting edge, and then you've got the main cutting edge, and I just about cut my finger when I did that. I felt it grab. So it's a super sharp knife. But all the features that you found in the original knife, including the 20-piece survival kit on the inside of this knife, my Carta scales has a stainless steel bow drill divot, and I want you to see this. If I can get it up close to you, it doesn't even look like it's been used. It might have a little dirt in it, but I've built about 20 friction fires with this using the bow drill divot, and it hardly even looks used. But every feature on the original knife is there, from tip to pommel. You know, and I'm not going to go over those features because we already did that again, but you want to know the performance of this knife. And I've got to tell you, everything that I wanted to do with this, I've had it near water, in water. It does not rust. So for those of you that were concerned about taking it out and it rusting, you know, not with this knife, you won't. And this knife is 100% made in the United States. And the price on this guy is $3.99. That's the regular price. And right now it's on sale for $3.49, and it comes with a Kydex sheath. It's really nice. This is the tactical sheath, the sear sheath that he sells with this knife. Now, I'll tell you what I like about this guy. This knife right here is probably a one-stop shop when it comes to a knife that will do all the skills that you need to do out in the bush. All right. But if you are in a tactical situation, you can count on this knife to be able to do whatever you need to do, whether it is building shelters, if it is building sniper lays, and especially as a defensive weapon to have on your side. This is a knife that I would truly recommend. And I appreciate you guys out there at 29 Palms hipping me to this, because you know, it's not every day that a knife comes in my office that I'll actually say I would recommend. I'm gonna have to be quiet for a second because this old boy with these big old nub tires are rolling by here. You hear that? That's just rude. Okay, so it's not every day that I would recommend a knife for a tactical purpose, especially to be specific. When somebody asks me from any branch of the military, this guy is one of those that I would recommend. You also heard me talk about Grayman knives. Mike at Grayman Knives makes those. He's a former operator himself, so he really knows what needs to be done. But this guy right here, a lot of time, effort, money has been spent in the design of this knife to ensure that from tip to pommel, this thing is going to help you to be able to survive in any type of situation. I am no longer, obviously, I'm no longer in the Marine Corps. It's been many, many years, and you wouldn't find me in a tactical military AO. I don't need it for that. But anyone that's looking for a tactical knife, whether you are in the military or you're a first responder, police, a fireman, if you are a government employee, whether it is FBI, CIA, or whatever, if you're in a situation where you want a knife with you, a main EDC knife, the MSK1 Elite Warrior is the ticket. Nothing I threw at this slowed it down at all. Nothing, you know. The other question is, you know, how do I recommend that you carry this? You know, if you're in, this is just for me, other guys do different things. But if I was carrying this in a tactical situation and I was humping in country somewhere, I would have it inverted like I do right here. Matter of fact, this is how I carry it all the time. I don't put this knife on my hip. I carry it inverted like this, and you can see it's very easy, you know, and I should go ahead and throw a little tape on it, a little duct tape, to keep it exactly where I want it at, but so far this has not impeded me at all. But it's quick access. You know, very quick access. It's easy to put back. You're not going to cut yourself or cut your clothes. If there's a downer that I don't like about this sheath, it's the downer that I have with every Kydex sheath when you're talking about tactical, or if you're going to be out in the woods and trying to be stealthy. Because here's what happens, you know, when you pull this sheath, when you skin that, the whole world within 50 yards, if they have a trained tactical ear, they're going to notice the difference. That is not a natural sound that you find out in the bush or that you find anywhere. You know, it is metal being yanked out of this Kydex. You know, that's the one thing I don't like about Kydex sheaths. But they do the job. You know, they don't rot out. They keep your knife dry. They do everything they're supposed to do. I just don't like the racket that they make, so that's my downer on that. The other thing that I was asked is this too big to do fine tasks? Well, common sense, when you look at a knife this size, common sense is going to tell you the answer is yes. There's going to be things that you're going to encounter with this knife. You know, and the rule of thumb has always been you can do with a big knife whatever you can do with a small knife, but you can't do with a small knife everything you can do with a big knife. Okay, that's the rule of thumb. But I mean, to circumvent that, I recommend that you always have a secondary knife. And you know, for me, you know, the way that I teach, you know, in classes is that you should have a 3-knife system: primary knife, secondary knife, and tertiary knife. Okay. And for me, my main EDC is number 1. I may have a neck knife for number 2. And number 3 is always going to be a pocket knife that I carry with me wherever I go. And this happens to be the CRKT Kit Carson version. So what I recommend, you know, if you're anticipating having to do smaller tasks, you're going to need a smaller knife than this. This is hefty, man. This is a big guy, and the clip point on it is very formidable. You know, I mean, you can create divots with this. You can do a lot of things with it, but when it really comes down to it, you know, if you're going to be skinning an animal, or you know, you need to be a little more deft, you're going to have a smaller knife. And that's why I recommend that when you buy this knife, that you flip for the extra 120 bucks or whatever it is. It might even be less than that, but it is the MSK1 Mini that you see right here, right on this sheath. It fits right on this tactical sheath, and it is almost identical to the regular size MSK1 Elite Warrior. Now it does not have serrations on it, and it doesn't have 3 edges. It's only got 1 bottom edge, but you don't need it on this particular knife. Again, this is used for small tasks, you know, feather sticking, whatever you want to do. Now you can feather stick with this too, but you're going to be a whole lot more successful when you use a knife this size. Skinning animals, processing them, creating feather sticks, you know, making your fire lay, all kinds of things with this. You know, peeling an apple, that's your guy. You know, big difference between that and this, but together they make a perfect team. Now again, this Elite Warrior has all the physical features that you found in the original. You know, great pommel. You have a ferro rod striker built inside of this pommel. You have a very large lanyard hole, and then you've got 2 lashing holes here if you want to build yourself like a 6-foot staff and lash this to that staff. Now you have a very formidable defensive weapon. If you happen to be in a situation where you lose your firearm or your other weapon that you have with you, you can turn this into a very, very formidable defensive weapon. Inside, again, I said it has the original, actually, no, let me back that up. It has a 20-piece survival kit that has been upgraded since the first one came out in 2017. He's really upgraded it, put some better stuff in it, used different materials, did a great job with it, and it all fits right inside of here. I don't know what else I can tell you about this knife. You know, we've used it, has not failed. I wish I could get you a real clear close-up. You know, I have beat on this knife. I've used it in about every situation you can imagine. You know, I've chopped with it. You know, in order to chop with this knife, you got to hold it down here, right here, on the end of your knife here, and it gives you a lot of force and a lot of weight, and the amount of energy that you produce coming down will help you chop formidably. It'll work. That was one of the things that some guy out on YouTube, you know, because David got excited in his marketing and said it chops like an axe. Well, I get what he said, you know. I know it's not an axe, and it doesn't chop like an axe, but it will chop. I chopped down a 5-inch sapling. It took me a long time to do it, but I got the job done. But it's not made for that. You know, it's made for, you know, you can chop smaller things with it. But again, it's not an axe. It's not going to chop like an axe, so you shouldn't expect that. But everything else about this knife, I'm telling you, it's well worth the money. $399 or $349, whatever you might get it at. And it's available at ultimatesurvivaltips.com. Sorry, David. I'm getting distracted by this traffic that's, you can hear it over yonder on the other side of that mound. But everything that you could ever want in a tactical knife is found in this guy right here. So those of you that ask me if I could recommend it for a tactical situation, absolutely. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I hope it's helped you out. And I encourage you to get out there and look at all of his knives. I encourage you to get out there to his website and look at all of his knives. There's something for everybody there. You know, for those of you that are saying, I can't afford it, I like the knife, but I can't afford $3.99 for a knife or $3.49. Look at the Primitive. Okay, the Primitive is a lot more reasonable in regards to price because of the fact that it's made offshore, it's made with a different steel, but other than that, and it has a different sheath. Yeah, beautiful sheath, by the way, but other than that, every feature you see on the knife is on, except for the serrations and the second edge. All right, so I need to clarify that. But you don't need that for bushcrafting. Okay, you just really don't need these for bushcrafting. But every other feature, man, including the survival kit, is in the primitives as well. So listen, I hope this video has helped you out. You know, I've been wanting to put this out there, and I'm stepping back and I'm looking at this because I was asked what tactical pack, if I was going to pack this knife, what tactical pack would I look at, what would I use? This is a Kelty 2300 Strike, and it is not, turn around so you can see it a little bit here, right? Back away, let you see that. This pack was designed by Kelty. It is very compliant, and there's a lot of guys out there, Marines, Army, anybody that's doing humping for the military. There's a lot of these strikes out there because it was designed to do just what it says. Get out to snoop and poop and get back without being caught. And I like the pack because of the simple fact that I can rely on this out in the bush not to tear up at all. You know, this is Backwoods Biker Magazine. We do ride our motorcycles. I got a Harley that I take out in the bush, and to get from point A to point B puts me out on the highway. I need a pack that is rugged, that can withstand the sun, the rain, the wind, the sand, whatever. These packs will do the job. We put them through their paces, all right? So I hope that answers that question also. Get out to Kelty.com and check out their military style gear, because there's a lot of it out there, you know. And one of the things, I'm going to mention this, I'm asked about ponchos a lot. This is not a poncho video, but Kelty, I've had a Kelty Fieldcraft tactical poncho for the past 3 years, and we have been testing it, you know, when we can, when the rain is here, whatever. And you're going to see a video on that, an extended video. You want to see it. There's no other poncho out there like it. So listen, I appreciate y'all watching, all your support, your encouraging emails, and everything that you do for us, especially hanging tight with us during the COVID thing, because we took a hit just like everybody else did. So hit that subscribe button and we'll put you in our monthly database for free stuff that we give out. And like us and share us and tell your friends about this channel. So until next time, you guys ride free, you live free, and as always, you be safe out there, man, especially when you're carrying a knife like this.